Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So first of all, this is my husband. He's driving, not me. So I have this channel. I vlog about my life as a full-time online teacher, and this is a very special vlog because our router to our internet went out, probably because of the heat. You could probably see like on my face, like it is so hot. It is almost 100 degrees outside and we are both sweating and burning up, so please don't mind that. So the internet router went out and I kind of panicked a little bit about classes because I had shifted my schedule a little bit where I'm not teaching in the mornings anymore. I'm actually teaching more so in the evenings, and we realized in the afternoon that the internet router went out, and so I was scrambling and trying to figure out how I could teach classes for tonight. And you know, there were several people like on the ALLSCHOOL side of things that have said like, why don't you go, you know, sit at the parking lot? Why don't you, you know, go to the library parking lot? And like me personally, I don't feel comfortable teaching in my car in a parking lot, especially with the heat. It would just be uncomfortable on a lot of levels in terms of safety and also just the weather. Like I think the low is going to be like 82. That's still pretty toasty. And so neither me or my husband felt comfortable with that. So you may have seen my husband with the tote. All of my teaching equipment, so my laptop, my ring light, all of the big things. And that's just because I normally don't have like a travel teaching set, because usually when I do go out of town I don't normally teach. So I had to just grab everything that was in my teaching space in our computer room and put it all in the tote, and we're gonna set that up at a friend's house for tonight. So I only have one class for tonight, thank goodness, and it's not going to be too terribly late, and they're so gracious enough to let us come over to their place and to let me teach that one class. So we got that covered, but the router is not supposed to come, it's not going to come until, is it Wednesday, or is it, yeah, Wednesday. So I didn't really have any other help in terms of other places that I could teach at. So I was originally, for this coming weekend, because it would be Father's Day weekend, I was originally going to travel to Nashville on Friday and then have the weekend there to spend with my father. And because now this internet router thing came up, I am now going to be attempting to travel to Nashville, which is where my parents live, and teach the rest of the classes that I have this week in Nashville. So and it's gonna be interesting because where I live in Louisville, they are an hour ahead from Nashville. So I have to make sure that I pay attention to like the time zones and realize the classes that I have offered now are now going to be like an hour behind. So like I know like for tomorrow night I have classes on ALLSCHOOL from like, I have one class at 8 and one class at 10 here, but in Nashville time that's going to be 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So I have to make sure I am aware of those time changes. What I may have to end up doing, because I'm not going to manually change the time just because of these, you know, this weird thing that's happened, this change. So I'm gonna set alarms on my phone to just alert me when it's time for class, in terms of, you know, the time differential there. So that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'll have to schedule that out after my class tonight. So, but for this vlog, I'm going to be talking and sharing my experience with you, how this me traveling to Nashville to go and teach, and let you know how that is. And you know, maybe this may change everything in terms of like actually like traveling and teaching, who knows. So but you're coming along on the journey, and I'm glad you're here. and hopefully you can learn from me when things like this happen. So I'm gonna check in later. So it has come to my attention from my husband that I know he said, well, anyone can just go buy a new router, like why do you have to travel? So I'm gonna have him explain real quick why it's actually a little bit complicated for our situation.
Yeah, so it's complicated because the router that we're using is a fiber optics router. Because truthfully, I have three just regular routers lying around in my house right now, not being used. But with the fiber optics, it uses a special input jack that's not like an Ethernet or like a, what they call the USB-C, whatever, standardized input jacks. It's actually a specialty jack that takes the fiber optic read and more or less turns it from analog to digital through like this kind of USB connection, and so it's inputted into the router, already converted to a digital signal, and so it's complicated, and so we have to get it from AT&T or pay. I think the cheapest one I saw was $300, $400, which is just outrageous for a base model router. So it kind of is what it is.
And there you have it, my husband explaining why our router is way more complicated than it needs to be. Alright, welcome back. So I am at a friend's house for tonight. They have been so gracious in letting me teach my one class in their apartment. So we got that settled, and then tomorrow morning I'm gonna head out to Nashville to my parents' house to set up the rest of my teaching equipment there. So and I'll show you before class starts what the setup looks like. So I'm about to teach the class. They have internet, got everything set up, we're good to go. So we're gonna make it work. It's gonna be fine, and it's gonna be fun. So yeah, so that's what we're doing for Monday night, and then we're gonna be traveling to Nashville for the rest of the week. All right, that was the one class that I had to teach tonight, and that went really good. So it was still a lot of fun, no technical difficulties, everything worked out well. So good news so far. Now we just gotta see how we do when we head to Nashville. So I'm gonna retire for the night, and I mean you'll see this in like 5 seconds or something, but I'm gonna retire and we'll return with another video in the morning. And good morning. It is now Tuesday, and I'm showing you that we had to take this out and put it in the house just for safety and heat reasons. And so I had to travel to then back into my truck to travel to Nashville. So, but I wanted to film this so that way you can see it, I can see it, I am bringing all of my teaching equipment to Nashville to teach in Nashville. So I just hope and pray that it went as well as it did last night when I went over to a friend's house to teach there. So I think it'll go fine. I have my mom's house, and if for some reason the setup doesn't work up there, then I have my dad and my stepmom's house that is literally right next door. More on that if you're like really curious like why they live next door. But anyways, I have resources to teach in a quiet space. It'll work out. It'll be fine. So now you see it, and we'll be heading the road. Mornings are for coffee and contemplation. Isn't that what Jim Hopper from Stranger Things always said? I got a big one for the road and this crazy thing that we're about to do. So it had also been noted that the last I checked on my YouTube, I literally had 999 subscribers on my channel. So I don't know if I hit 1K yet, or if I'm going to hit 1K later in the week. It's gonna be like, I have no idea if I'm going to go live this week or wait until next week when I'm back in Louisville. So I'm on the fence about that. I haven't really decided yet if I want to do that, because I do want to like do it with my husband, and my husband's not coming with me on this trip because he has his own work commitments back at home. So I haven't decided yet, but I know like many of you that have followed me for a long time, you know, I think, you know, you'll be okay with either or with what I do, or when I go live for celebrating 1K. But we are going to do it. It is going to happen, and it seems like since I'm at 999 subscribers last I checked, it's going to be happening really soon, but probably not until next week. So it's fine. So, but I'm gonna stop here, enjoy my breakfast on the road, and try to get to Nashville. And the moment I get to Nashville, I'm going to try to set up so that way I know we are good to go on the setup. So the next time I see you, which for you will probably be like 5 seconds, for me it's like 2-3 hours, I'll be in Nashville. So see you then. All right, we are in Nashville, in my home, well, the home I grew up in at least. So I'm just gathering all my stuff, and then we're gonna do a quick setup, make sure everything's good to go for my first class, which thankfully is in the afternoon. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we're all set up. Got the table, got the chair, got a different background than usual, but you know what? It works. It'll be okay. I don't think anyone will really care or know the difference. So, but we are all squared away. So I am excited that we're squared away. Even away from my usual desk. So now we just hope and pray that we will teach classes as if I didn't leave home. So yeah, but that won't be for a little bit. So that was a lot to set up, and it's still hot outside, and I'm in the south, so it's even warmer here. So yeah, gonna have a little lunch, see family real quick, and then teach my first class. So here goes. everyone. It is Wednesday as I'm filming this. So I've just been told from my husband that the new router came in, and that's cool. But because I was originally going to go to Nashville anyways so I could see my dad for Father's Day, I am just staying put, and the setup still works great. I have the Ethernet cable connected and all the setups. There hasn't been any mess ups yet. so far so good with the setup. It's great. I didn't start teaching until the afternoon, so I had the morning off, so I spent some time with my mom, and then so there's not going to be really a lot of like product or service stuff happening this week, since the main concern, because of our router going out earlier in the week, is that that I just focus on classes rather than products. But so far it's been going good, and it's been kind of nice to just focus on classes and not have to worry about anything else. I mean, I've already been anticipating kind of backing off a little bit, since I already have a lot to offer, as I talk about in my videos pretty often. So you know, it's nice to just kind of focus on classes and to kind of be away from the typical background and that sort of thing. So it's been really, really nice. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that for the vlog. So, you know, I am planning on continuing to teach and then spending time with my family the rest of the time. So I may tune in, I may not, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see if something breaking happens. Have to wait and see on that. So yeah, so if you have been watching to this point, you know, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. All right, so we'll see how it goes.